Good morning, students. Class 12th, Chapter 5, Lecture 11 homework and Lecture 12. So first of all, in the lecture, I'm going to discuss one question from your homework, as there were only 3 questions given to you in the homework. So the question that I am discussing is of exercise 5.7, question number 17. In question 17, they have given the function y as equal to tan inverse x whole square. They are asking us to prove x square plus 1 whole square into y2. y2 means here the second order derivative plus x square plus 1 2x y1. y1 here is the first order derivative equals to. This is what we have to obtain from the given equation. So let us differentiate our equation with respect to x first. Dy by dx will be equal to, first of power function you will be doing, you get 2 tan inverse x. Then tan inverse x differentiation is 1 upon 1 plus x square. Multiply both the side of the equation with 1 plus x square so that use of quotient rule is avoided, which is more time consuming. So we can write the equation as this now. After multiplying both the side with 1 plus x square. Now we'll differentiate it again with respect to x because we have to reach to second order derivative. To see here, just there are two functions. 1 plus x square is the first one. Dy by dx is the second one. Now we will apply product rule here. 1 plus x square as it is, differentiation of dy by dx will become d square y by dx square plus dy by dx as it is, differentiation of 1 plus x square is 2x equals to differentiation of tan inverse x is 1 plus x square. Now we'll again multiply both the side of the equation with 1 plus x square. We will get 1 plus x square whole square here, and this can be represented as y2 plus 2x into 1 plus x square dy by dx, which is y1 I can write, equals 2. This is what they were asking us to prove, right? And we have got the same equation. This is how you are going to solve the question based on proving of equations. Clear? Let us move to the new concept today, which is mean value theorems. The first one is Rolle's theorem. The second one is Lagrange's theorem. So first of all, we'll move to Rolle's theorem, whose statement is given as, if f be a real valued function which is defined on the closed interval. So you have to suppose one function that is real valued functions, means in its input and output values are all real numbers on the closed interval AB, such that the function should be continuous, differentiable, and the third condition is f of a equals f of b. Then there will exist a number c. If these three conditions for the given function are satisfied, then there will exist a real number c that belongs to the interval a comma b, such that f dash c, that means we have to find f dash x first order derivative of the function. In that, instead of x we have to place c. It should be equal to 0. This is what is the application of Rolle's theorem. Now I have explained you just algebraically. We'll just go with geometrical interpretation to have a more clear idea what the statement means. In the geometrical interpretation, just have a look on the graph. Here a function is given y equal to f of x, right? And then we have taken the interval from a to b. You observe carefully. Now you say f of a and f of b are exactly equal values. So when f of a and f of b are equal, the function you see is continuous as well as differentiable in between this interval. Hence f dash c will be equal to 0. So we have to actually calculate that point c using Rolle's theorem. Clear? So we will just do some questions on Rolle's theorem to understand it more clearly. So I'll just take exercise question only to explain how Rolle's theorem works. In question number 1, they are asking us to verify Rolle's theorem for the function x square plus 2x minus 8. And x is belonging to which interval? Minus 4 comma 2. Now the first condition was that the function should be continuous. You see it is a polynomial functions. All the polynomial functions are continuous for all real values of x. Hence we will say f of x is continuous, right, in the interval or on the interval -4, 2. All the polynomial functions are differentiable for all x belonging to R. So we will write f of x is differentiable on the interval. The interval is open interval -4, 2. For differentiability, we write like this. The third condition is we have to check whether f of b and f of a are equal. Now this is a, this is b. So let us first calculate that. So we'll do that in rough. Just to see, f of -4 will be -4 whole square -2 into 4 -8. So we get 16 minus 8 and the answer is 0. Let us find f of 2, which will be 2 square plus 2 into 2 -8, which is 4 plus 4 -8. We get the answer as 0. So we say that f of a is equal to f of b. Now all the three conditions are satisfied, you see, for the Rolle's theorem. Then there exists a real number c. So we have to calculate c, and c is calculated as f dash c equating to 0. So first of all, let us calculate f dash x. When we differentiate this function, we get 2x plus 2. F dash c will be 2c plus 2. So we have to write 2c plus 2 equals 0. That gives c as -1. Now -1 is a value that belongs to -4, 2. Right. So c is the number at which f dash c will be equal to 0. This was our purpose, to find out c. This is how you're going to check the conditions of Rolle's theorem, whether they are satisfied or not. All the three conditions of continuity, differentiability and f of a equal to f of b, and then you're going to solve the question. Let us do question number 2 now. In question number 2, they are saying, examine if Rolle's theorem is applicable to any of the following function, and can you say something about the converse of Rolle's theorem from this example. The first example is greatest integer function. Okay, now greatest integer function is given. You know that it is not a continuous as well as differentiable function because it is not a continuous curve. You have already drawn the graph for greatest integer and smallest integer functions, and they have breaks in between, right? Hence they are not continuous, not differentiable. Also f of 5 will give you 5, f of 9 will give you 9, f of a and f of b are also not equal. Hence all the three conditions are violated. So Rolle's theorem is not applicable, hence the converse will not also exist. For the second part also you can say it is a greatest integer function, the same reason can be given. In the third part you see it is a polynomial function, hence it will be continuous and differentiable, right? But what about f of 1 and f of 2? Are they equal? Let us just check. F of 1 will be 1 minus 1, which is 0. F of 2 will be 2 square minus 1, which is 3. They are not equal, hence Rolle's theorem can't be applied to it, and converse also will not be applicable. Clear? Now this is how you're going to, very simple question, just remember the conditions, remember the rule, and you're all set to go for the solution. Now I will discuss the another concept, which is the Lagrange's mean value theorem. Here is Lagrange's mean value theorem, whose statement is, if fx is a function, it is also a real valued function defined on the interval a comma b such that it is continuous on ab, it is differentiable on ab, then, so here only two conditions are to be checked for continuity and differentiability. If they both are satisfied, then there will exist a number c, and here f dash c is not equal to 0. Here it is equal to f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a. Let us go through the geometrical interpretation and see the diagram and understand the statement more clearly. In the geometrical interpretation, just to see this graph, y is given equal to f of x, this is the curve drawn, ab is the chord, this is the tangent drawn here. So if tangent is making theta with the x-axis, so this angle BAR will be theta, and tan theta if we apply in the triangle ARB, it will be BR upon AR. That can also be written as f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a. Tangent theta means differentiation of the function, that is f dash c. As you know very well, dy by dx, or we have discussed this, that what do we mean when we say that a function is differentiable? That means the curve, at every point of the curve there is a unique tangent existing, right? So this is what was said in this statement. Now let us go with the question of the exercise. So we will do exercise question 5.8 only. Question number 4 we are going to. In question number 4, they're asking us to verify mean value theorem. Whenever it is written verify mean value theorem, that means Lagrange's theorem is to be verified. Clear? Just to see in this case, f of x is x square minus 4x minus 3. You see this is a polynomial function. It is continuous as well as differentiable. Hence we can say that Lagrange's theorem is applicable to it. First condition of continuity is there, and second condition of differentiability is also there, being a polynomial function in the interval, right? Now if this is there, what was the case? That f dash c will be equal to f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a. So let us find f of b. F of b means f of 4. F of 4, when we calculate in the function, what do we get? It is just see 4 square minus 4 into 4 minus 3. 16 minus 16 minus 3, we get the answer as minus 3. Let us find f of a, which is f of 1. So we get 1 minus 4 minus 3, which is 1 minus 7. So we get it minus 6. Let us find f dash x. When we differentiate this function given in the question, we get 2x minus 4. Hence f dash c is 2c minus 4. Now we'll put the all values here. 2c minus 4 is equal to f of b is minus 3 minus f of a is minus 6 divided by 4 minus 1. So we get minus 3 plus 6 divided by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 2c minus 4 is 1. C is equal to 5 divided by 2, and it belongs to the interval which is 1 comma 4. Hence we have found C, where the function, that means differentiation of the function, will be equal to f of b minus f of a upon b minus a. So in both the theorem, the main point is to calculate the point C at which the tangent, or I say the differentiation in the Rolle's theorem becomes 0, and in Lagrange's theorem it becomes fb minus f of a divided by b minus a. So we have discussed 3 questions of the exercise. There are total 6 questions. So you're going to do in exercise 5.8. First of all, you will complete question number 2, of which I just have given the hint. You will do question 3, you will do question 5, and you will do question number 6. These are the 4 questions for homework. So do go through the theorems well from NCERT also. There also proof is given as well as their applications. Read it carefully and come up with doubts in the next day. Thank you so much.
students, class 12, chapter number 5, continuity and differentiability, lecture number 11, homework discussion, and lecture number 12. So today I'll be giving you a solution of the homework question because only 3 or 4 questions were given, so we'll discuss out of them one question and then we're going to do new theorems today. So let us go to the first question now that I'm going to discuss out of homework, which is question number 17. They have given the function y is equal to tan inverse x whole square, and we have to prove that x square plus 1 whole square y2 here means second order derivative plus 2x into x square plus 1 into y1 is the first order derivative equals to. This is what we have to prove in this. Let us do that. So we will differentiate our equation y equals tan inverse x square with respect to x. We get dy by dx equal to, first of power function we will differentiate to tan inverse x, and of tan inverse x it is 1 upon 1 plus x square. Multiply both the side of the equation with 1 plus x square to avoid the use of quotient rule. Also we see that with first order derivative we have this term x square plus 1. So multiplying both the sides with 1 plus x square, we get 1 plus x square dy by dx equals 2 tan inverse x. Now we again differentiate this equation with respect to x. Here we will be using product rule. To use the product rule, 1 plus x square first function as it is. Differentiation of dy by dx means we will get the second order derivative d square by the dx square plus dy by dx as it is. Differentiation of 1 plus x square is 2x equals 2 into differentiation of tan inverse x is 1 upon 1 plus x square. Now again multiplying the complete equation with 1 plus x square, we will have 1 plus x square whole square. This can be represented with y2 because this is the second order derivative plus 2x into 1 plus x square into this can be represented as y1 equals 2. So this is what they were asking us to prove, and we have got the equation. This is the method you will be doing questions of exercise 5.4. Now let us go to the new concept, which is mean value theorem. The first one is Rolle's theorem and the second one is Lagrange's theorem. Right. So we will first go step by step. The first theorem, which is Rolle's theorem. So let us go to the statement of the theorem, which says if f is a real valued function which is defined on the closed interval a comma b such that, so you are going to suppose one function f of x, that can be any a polynomial function, anything. It should be continuous, it should be differentiable, the second condition, and the third condition is f of a should be equal to f of b. If these three conditions are satisfied, then there will exist a real number c that will belong to the interval. The c will be in between the interval, that will lie in between the interval, such that f dash c equals 0. F dash c means the first order derivative of the function at point c. Now, what does that mean actually? I'll be explaining through a graph. Let us go to the graph of, or we call that as geometrical interpretation of Rolle's theorem. Here there is a graph given to you. You see there is a function y equal to f of x, which is given to us, right? The interval taken is from a to b, and you see f of a is equal to f of b, and this function is continuous within the limit a to b, differentiable also as there is a unique tangent drawn at every point in between this interval on the curve. Also, f of a, f of b are equal. If three conditions are fulfilled, then f dash c will be equal to 0. So this is the point at which dy by dx will become equal to 0. Clear? How to use this into the question task? So let us go to the exercise and do one or two questions based on Rolle's theorem in the Lagrange. Right. So in exercise 5.8, I'll be just finishing question number 1 now. In question number 1, they're asking us to verify Rolle's theorem for the function which is a polynomial function and the interval is given from -4 to 2. differentiable also on the interval minus 4 comma 2. Now the third condition is we need to check f of a and f of b as equal. F of a means f of minus 4. Let us check f of minus 4. Put minus 4 in this, minus 4 whole square plus 2 into minus 4 minus 8. We get 16 minus 8 minus 8 which is equal to 0. Let us find f of b which is f of 2. So let us put 2 in the function 2 square plus 2 into 2 minus 8. So we get 8 minus 8 which is 0. We see f of a and f of b are equal. The third condition is also satisfied that f of a is equal to f of b. Hence Rolle's theorem is applicable to it. So we will apply it. So when these three conditions were satisfied, they said that f dash c will be equal to 0. First of all, let us find f dash x, the first order derivative of this function. It will be 2x plus 2. So what will be f dash c then? Just instead of x we need to place c. 3 plus 2. This implies that it is equal to 0 according to Rolle's theorem. Hence to find c, we will have the value of c as minus 1. Does minus 1 lie between minus 4 and 2? Yes. So c belongs to, you can write here belongs to minus 4 comma 2. So we say c is the number, c is that real number between the interval a comma b at which f dash c will become equal to 0. This is how you will be applying Rolle's theorem. Here, let us go to the second question of the exercise and see how to do that. In question number 2, they are asking, examine if Rolle's theorem is applicable to any of the following functions. Can you say something about the converse of Rolle's theorem for this example? Let us first see the first part. F of x is greatest integer of x 5 comma 9, as we already have done the graph for greatest integer function, and you know that it is not continuous, it has breaks in between. So also, when you check f of 5, it is 5, and when you check f of 9, it will be 9. Hence, Rolle's conditions are not satisfied, so Rolle's theorem is not applicable to it. Similarly, you can say for the second part, here also Rolle's theorem will not be applicable. All the three conditions are not satisfied because it is neither a continuous nor a differentiable function. In the third one, you see it is a polynomial function, hence it will be continuous and differentiable. But let us check f of 1 here. It will be 1 square minus 1, that is 0. But what will be f of 2? F of 2 will be 2 square minus 1, which is 3. So you see they both are not equal. F of 1, which is f of a, and f of b, which is f of 2, they are not equal. Hence Rolle's theorem is not applicable to this question also. Hence, converse will also not be applicable to these. There will be no converse. Clear? Let us go to the new concept now, which is Lagrange's mean value theorem. Here, in that, the statement goes like, let fx be a function defined on a comma b such that it is continuous, which is the first condition, and it is differentiable. There are only two conditions necessary for Lagrange's mean value theorem. It should be continuous and differentiable. If these two conditions are satisfied, there will exist a real number c that belongs to a comma b such that f dash c is equal to f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a. Now, how does this happen and how does this come? Let us understand through geometrical interpretation. So, we will go with geometrical interpretation. You see a graph here. Y is equal to f of x. The function is given. Okay. We have taken a chord AB and then we have drawn a tangent at point C. Okay, now just to see in triangle ARB, tan theta will be equal to f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a because it is equal to br upon ar, that is calculated as this. Tan theta means the tangent to theta, so tangent theta is f dash c only, which is dy by dx. Hence it will be equal to f of b minus f of a upon b minus a. So they are saying there will be a point C, and between the interval a and b where the tan theta will be equal to f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a. To have a more clarity on this, let us go to the exercise questions. In this question, They are saying verify mean value theorem if f of x is equal to x square minus 4x minus 3 in the interval a comma b, where a is equal to 1 and b equal to 4. Whenever it is just written verify mean value theorem, we have to go for Lagrange's mean value theorem. Just to see, in the first condition was that it should be continuous. Being a polynomial function, it is continuous, yes. So you will just write being a polynomial function, it is continuous on the interval a comma b, which is 1 comma 4 we may write. The second condition was that it should be differentiable. All the polynomial functions are differentiable, you know, on all the values which are x belonging to capital R, which are real numbers. Clear? Now when these two conditions are satisfied, they are saying that f dash c will be equal to f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a. Clear? So let us find point C. First of all, let us find f of b. F of b means f of 4. Let us put 4 in the function given. 4 square minus 4 into 4 minus 3. So 16 minus 16 minus 3, we get minus 3 as the answer. Let us find f of a, that means f of 1, which will be 1 square minus 4 into 1 minus 3. So 1 minus 7, which is minus 6. We have f of b, f of a. Now find out f dash x. Differentiate the function given. 2x minus 4 we have. What will be f dash c then? 2c minus 4. Hence, from here we will put all the values here. 2c minus 4 equals f of b is minus 3 minus f of a is minus 6 divided by 4 minus 1. We get 2c minus 4 is equal to minus 3 plus 6 divided by 3, which is 3 divided by 3, which is 1. So 2c minus 4 is equal to 1. That shows c is equal to 5 by 2 and which belongs to the interval 1 comma 4, right? So 5 by 2 is the point where f dash c will be equal to this expression. This is how you're going to solve questions on Lagrange's mean value theorem. For homework, you're going to do exercise 5.8, question number 2, 3, 5 and 6. That's all for today. Thank you so much. Stay safe.